welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to share some of my favourite mother culture books for your mama's morning basket. Every morning I read a chapter from a book devoted to motherhood or home education, and though the books in today's videos are not homeschool focused, they were all written by homeschooling mamas. I will do a follow-up video on specific homeschooling books I like in the future. Now let's jump in with the first book here, which is called The Memory Making Mum by Jessica Smart. This is a lovely book on ways you can create family rituals and traditions in your home to help create special memories for you and your children, and that is something I've really been trying to cultivate in my home. Now my boys are only young, so it's really myself and my husband that know that these are conscious rituals that we have created, either on a seasonal or weekly basis, but this book has been one of the main sources for us for ideas in terms of having a weekly board game session or a family hike every weekend, as well as family night pizza nights and volunteering at the local food bank, as well as the annual visits to the pumpkin patch. This book includes ideas from other families as well as Jessica's own traditions around several themes, including seasonal traditions, different holidays, acts of service, food, learning and beauty in the home, and the list in the back of the book is packed full of ideas to try. I really hope to incorporate many of these into my family's rhythms throughout my children's childhood. The next book is called Hard is Not the Same Thing as Bad by Abby Halberstadt, who is the author of the well-known book M is for Mama, which is a great read and a well-known classic in the mother online community. This second book just has the best title, which is so appropriate for many different seasons of motherhood, and that is really what this book dives into, looking at phases such as the newborn phase, the toddler years, the teenage years, as well as challenging things that you encounter as a mother, such as discipline, technology, finding your own identity, and so on. The book really helps to reframe your mind, looking at the secular culture attitude to motherhood and how this countercultural Christian perspective can be applied. It helps to see how you can glorify your work as a mother and appreciate the blessing of raising a child. You don't have to be perfect, but you can do your best. If you didn't know, she has 10 children, including 2 sets of twins, so she definitely knows her stuff. And throughout the book there are tips from her husband, from a dad's perspective, as well as some lovely illustrations by her friend. There are also exercises for journaling and prayers, if that's something that you might find helpful. This next book is Beyond Mere Motherhood by Cindy Rollins. I absolutely love Cindy's writing. I don't hear many people talk about her, but her first book, Mere Motherhood, is well known. And we also have a Christian devotional by her based on Handel's Messiah, which is really fun. She also has a really great book on morning time, which we've not quite got into because we're only at the preschool level, but I do own a copy and it's an amazing resource for the older years. Her first book was more autobiographical, whereas this book continues on from that and provides some profiles of other mothers she has met alongside her motherhood journey and how they have inspired her in specific areas. Each chapter offers some advice on how you can develop yourself as a mother and learn more about either devotional life, fitness, nature, Shakespearean literature, and more to continue to learn and develop that passion for knowledge that can then in turn be passed on to your children. I just love her drive to continue to educate herself, and this book is full of further reading suggestions in each of these areas. It's even inspired me to try and read the works of Shakespeare in a year. This next book is by Sarah and Sally Clarkson and is called The Life-Giving Home. Now, Sally Clarkson is an author whose work should be a staple in any mother's morning basket. But this book in particular, in which her daughter collaborated on together with her, is a wonderful story about traditions and rituals and rhythms that were created in their home, despite being a busy, working, homeschooling family on the move several times throughout their children's childhood. Having her now adult daughter reflect on this also highlights how much of a difference having these familiar patterns to the home helped create a sense of belonging and strengthened family bonds. There is a journal that goes alongside this book which provides ideas for each month, from January to December, on what to read, what to eat, what activities can be done in the home to help create a pattern to the year, which I would love to follow along with next year. And I already have that ready on my bookshelf. And finally, the last book today is another by Sally Clarkson called Awakening Wonder. It's the first book I read by Sally Clarkson, and I just found the writing so beautiful in terms of inspiring how much influence we can have in our child's life, instilling a love for God, for learning, for kindness, and care for one another. I always find that these books are full of suggestions for further reading in the notes, and I tend to find many titles for my next books at the end of these. And so there we have it, a few of my top books for developing a sense of mother culture. As promised, I'll do another one of these videos on some homeschool specific books in the future. But in the meantime, if you have any suggested reading, I would love to hear about it in the comments section, as I'm always looking for more books to add to my collection. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch up with you in the next video.